The whoosh of cars passing me by.
I smell coffee.
This mask is comfortable.
Hearing a garbage truck.
Delicious deodorant.
2 squirrels on my roof, either fighting or lovemaking.
News channel in the background.
Red sunlight filtering through smoke.
My pen dipping into the bottle of sepia ink.
I hear faint laughter and a guitar playing nearby.
Apple juice.
Eyes burning from ash and blue light.
Vanilla oat milk latte.
Messy bedroom.
Tick.
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 Of my clock.
Zoom.
Ding dong.
Doors closing, opening somewhere in the back of my house.
Sunny house across the street with a dark window.
Phone alarm of yet another emergency alert.
I feel the plastic from my glove.
The baseball game my family is watching without me.
Salad dressing.
My nostrils aren't delighted.
Leaves shifting outside.
I feel my back aching.
Water.
The dim boxes silhouetted against my screen.
Pajam jams.
A smoky faint glow from Universal.
Instant ramen.
Tick.
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 Of my clock.
Zoom.
Ding dong.
Crushing of petals.
Apples as a snack after school.
Smell the wood from my desk.
I feel the satisfying noise of my laptop keys.
Coffee in a small mug.
I hear my happy music, the Beatles.
Overcooked broccoli made between homework sessions.
I taste the strawberry vitamins I eat, which are supposed to help with stress, but I just eat them like candy.
Berry chapstick.
Ash on my black car.
Boxes and textbooks.
Andy's mint chocolates.
Slightly melted JoJo cookies.
2% milk.
Tick.
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 Of my clock.
Zoom.
Ding dong.
Taste of old spit in my mouth.
Mask on my face.
Dramatic music playing in presidential campaign ads.
I hear my dad on a phone call, yelling while I'm in class.
Awful roll of yarn I'm knitting.
The hot, musky air inside of my mask.
I smell nothing.
Because I am congested.
The cool computer.
Against my fingertips.
I see hundreds of stunning people on my screen.
Every day.
Dog.
Yawning.
Reruns of TV shows that I've already seen.
At least twice.
Feeling my
Cracked phone.
Coconut lime.
Kombucha.
eyes glazing over.
And screen blurring.
Tick.
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 Of my clock.
Zoom.
Ding dong.
Zoom. Ding dong.
Welcome to this year's concert, Awakenings. My name is Caroline Kelleher.
My name is Tiffany Lee, and we are the co-presidents of the Women's Service League. This year, due to COVID-19, the arts department decided to bring a combination of the fall play, dance concert, and vocal ensemble cabaret. The performers have worked hard all semester to perfect their craft, and they are excited to present their work to all of you.
This performance and silent auction is held in support of Ituba Innovation Hub, a program in Longa Township, Cape Town, South Africa. And this is the 5th year we have chosen to support Ituba. All the money we raise tonight from the auction will go to support their program.
Thanks to all your support by attending the show and bidding on auction items, Ituba has grown tremendously in the last 5 years. 2 years ago, a group of Poly students traveled to Cape Town to spend time at Ituba and witness the continued growth and success of the program. Poly looks forward to strengthening our bond with Ituba in the years to come.
Finally, we would like to thank the performers, the Poly Arts departments, the tech crew, the Women's Service League advisor, Ms. Osborne Tuca, and all of the teachers and students who worked tirelessly to create and refine their pieces to make this entire show possible.
Thank you and enjoy the show.
Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There is so much hatred, war and poverty.
Wake up all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. 'Cause they're the ones who's coming up and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, yeah, just you and me. Wake up all the builders, time to build a new land. I know we can do it if we all lend a hand. The only thing we have to do is put it in our mind. Surely things will work out, they do every time. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, yeah, just you and me. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, yeah, just you and me. Just you and me. Just you and me.
The caterpillar and I stared at each other for some time in silence. At last, the caterpillar took the hookah out of its mouth and addressed me in a languid, sleepy voice.
Who are you?
This was not an encouraging opening for a conversation. I hardly know, sir, just at present. At least I knew who I was when I got up this morning. But I must have been changed several times since then.
What do you mean by that? Explain yourself.
I can't explain myself, I'm afraid, sir, for I'm not myself. You see?
I don't see.
Well, I can't explain any more clearly, for I can't understand it myself to begin with, and being so many different sizes in a day is very confusing.
It isn't?
Well, perhaps you haven't found it so yet, but when you have to turn into a chrysalis, you will someday, you know? And after that, into a butterfly. I should think you'll feel a little queer, won't you?
Not a bit.
Well, perhaps your feelings may be different. All I know is it would feel very queer to me.
You! Which brings us back to the beginning of the conversation. Who are you?
I think you ought to tell me who you are first.
Why?
Here was another puzzling question.
Come back. I've something important to say.
This sounds promising. Certainly.
Keep your temper.
Is that all?
No. So think you're changed, do you?
I'm afraid I am, sir. I can't remember things as I used, and I don't keep the same size for 10 minutes altogether.
Can't remember what things?
Well, I tried to say, how doth the little busy bee, but it all came different.
Repeat, you are old, Father William.
You are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has become very white, and yet you incessantly stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right? In my youth, Father William replied to his son, I feared it might injure the brain, but now that I'm perfectly sure I have none, why, I do it again and again. You are old, said the youth, as I mentioned before, and have grown most uncommonly fat, yet you turned back somersaults in at the door. Pray, what is the reason of that? In my youth, said the sage, as he shook his gray locks, I feared it. No. I kept all my limbs very supple by the use of this ointment, 1 shilling the box. Allow me to sell you a couple? You are old, said the youth. One would hardly suppose. Your jaws are too weak for anything tougher than suet, yet you finished the goose with the bones and the beak. Pray, how did you manage to do it? In my youth, said his father, I took to the law and argued each case with my wife, and the muscular strength which it gave to my jaw has lasted the rest of my life. You are old, said the youth. One would hardly suppose that your eye was as steady as ever, yet you balanced an eel on the end of your nose. What made you so awfully clever? I have answered 3 questions, and that is enough. Don't give yourself airs. Do you think I can listen all day to such stuff? Be off, or I'll kick you down the stairs.
That was not said right.
Not quite right, I'm afraid. Some of the words have got altered.
It was wrong from beginning to end. What size do you want to be?
Oh, I'm not particular as to size. Only one doesn't like changing so often, you know?
I don't know. Are you content now?
Well, I should like to be a little larger, sir, if you wouldn't mind. 3 inches is such a wretched height to be.
It is a very good height indeed.
But I'm not used to it. Oh, I wish the creatures wouldn't be so easily offended.
You'll get used to it in time.
consciousness is a fight against our evils and the evils of others. For how could you truly avoid those who have been enslaved by a devil in this connected world? And your friends, besides. Should we not help those who are afflicted before our friends must deal with them? And who are our friends? Could it possibly be that the afflicted would appreciate our helpful suggestions and one day, one glorious day, be our friends as well? If the devil could, he might make everybody turn away from those in need, and such that the problems caused would perpetuate and even escalate. One great conceit is to make everyone lack the patience to help each other, and rather make war against every slight from, every slip of our potential friends. Just remember that our thoughts are not only our own, and that the content of an evil world can be placed there and direct our activity to be filled with error. Another great conceit is to make everyone not care if they are evil or in error, and damn them to an existence of non-discerning laxity. A great delusion it would be, adrift in society in this way, never recognizing better from worse or caring about the difference. The potential for a better world is there. We need only carefully suggest to one another to unblock it. For what is more valuable than to keep the insanity of evil away that threatens to tear apart our collective consciousness?
I remember the time that our eyes first met. It was a warm summer night in July. You looked at me and asked my friends who I was. You came up to me saying hi with a smile. I was so afraid of getting hurt I looked away. Turned you down but you kept trying anyway. Took a chance and let you in, we talked all night. You made me laugh and I guess the third time's the charm. The last time I saw you, we were strangers. You were here today, gone tomorrow. Thought I'd finally had found something real. Where did it all go? I remember by the brick wall you pulled me close and kissed me for the very first time. Said you met your match, showed me off to all your friends. You said how you were such a lucky guy. The last time I saw you, we were strangers. You were here today, gone tomorrow. Thought I'd finally had found something real. Where did it all go? Introduced me to your family, always had your arms wrapped around me. Suddenly that night you said you weren't ready, all I could think of is why. Spent the holidays alone, waiting for the phone to ring and show your name. So I was afraid that this was all just a game. The last time I saw you, we were strangers. I don't know who you are. There's no love in your eyes, no light in your smile. Where did it all go? Where did it all go? I remember the time that our eyes last met at a party on a rainy December night. You walked with me to my car and said goodbye. Didn't even look into my eyes. Got in my car, brushed away all my tears. that we once shared had disappeared. Try so hard, but I just can't understand.
Did you know Capa was killed by a tank?
He was?
Uh-huh. During World War II.
That's nice. Where'd you hear that?
It's just something I know.
I love stuff like that. Too bad it's wrong.
What do you mean?
He wasn't killed by a tank.
Yes, he was. Robert Capa.
I know who Robert Capa is.
The greatest war photographer of all time.
That's a different argument.
Yes, he was. The Spanish Civil War, World War II. He took those photos on the beach on D-Day, and he was crushed by a tank during the liberation of Paris.
He was killed by a landmine in Vietnam.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he was.
During the Vietnam War?
I guess so. I'll prove it.
Wait a minute. If you're so sure...
I am sure.
Then why are you checking?
Don't you want to know? It'll take like a millisecond.
I know. For once, let's just not know right away.
Why?
Because I want there to be a little window between wondering and knowing.
Okay. How long?
2 minutes.
Fine. 2 minutes.
You was crushed by a tank.
Sorry.
No, I'm really sure.
Was it a German tank?
What?
Was it a German tank or an Allied tank?
I don't know.
Neither makes a lot of sense. Oh, here's a cool shot. Let me get down on one knee. Oh, that's better. Oh, what's that noise? I hope it's not a tank. I mean, why would there be a tank? Blah!
You're sort of annoying me right now.
1 minute, 40 seconds.
Why would he step on a landmine? That doesn't make any sense either.
It doesn't? Walking down the road, bum ba bum. Hey, here's a cool shot. Let me take 3 steps to the right. I'm looking through my camera instead of where I'm going. Ah, that's better. 1, 2, click.
You mean he got the shot?
He didn't get the shot. It was a landmine.
No, the shot. You said click. Did he get the shot and then the mine went off?
The click is in the camera. A landmine makes a click right before it goes off. You hear a click and you realize it's too late. You have like a millisecond. And then boom.
How do you know?
I just know.
So, did he get the shot?
Who cares?
Are you kidding? That is everything.
40 seconds.
You said he's got like a millisecond before the mine goes off? That's how long it takes to take a shot. 1/4000th of a second. He spent his whole life taking photos of these guys dying in all these wars, and suddenly he's about to die himself. And the last thing he can do is take this photo of... And did he even get it?
Can we check now?
Okay. But it was a tank.
Robert Capa wasn't his real name.
You're kidding.
Nope, he changed it to get more work.
And how did he die?
Hang on, man, these are some intense photographs.
So he changed his whole identity so more people could see what he saw.
I guess.
And now, all we have to do is click a button. There it is, his whole life.
Okay, I'm almost there.
There's a millisecond. And it's the last photo that he's ever gonna take. Now, he's the guy in the photo, only he's not in the photo. It's a photo of him dying, but he's not there. Do you think you heard the click?
His girlfriend was a photographer, and she changed her name too. She died in the Spanish Civil War.
No way. What happened?
It says she was killed by a tank.
Bueno, sí. Camina. Rico, rico, rico. Y como dice mi coro que sigue ahí. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Escucha, ahora estamos gozando hasta la mañana. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana.
Your beautiful moon-shaped eyes, the color of obsidian, once crinkled when you smiled, their still waters, rich and warm, were as deep as they were strong.
Now obscured by depression, opaque like glass marbles, the window to your weary soul, those beautiful, smiling eyes no longer twinkle.
Wolfish dog grins and stares mischievously, blue eyes laughing as if to flirt with you. In response, you chuckle and invite her close, with your sweet, smooth hands to nuzzle in between us.
On this unseasonably warm afternoon, I hear your face smile. Through the cadence of your laugh, sunbeams pour in from the windows and kiss away the worried shadows in my soul. My aching heart nods as if to say it knows. When it's time for you to go, when you're not within arm's reach anymore, you're going to be okay.
In the calm quiet of this mid-October night, owls hooting, creatures scurrying, bushes rustling, trees holding hands and dancing in a languid rhythm. I exhale and release into the bright black sky breath I didn't even know I was holding. My chaotic heart at peace for the first time since I saw you again. Something about childhood love that lingers. A smile isn't just a smile, it's a trip down memory lane. When the corners of your mouth begin to curl upward like the tips of ribbon on holiday presents, I can trace in my mind the exact path those lips will take, like a familiar road on an old map, until they form the precise shape of your smile, above which the bright crinkles of your moon-shaped eyes are perfectly placed.
Time stops as your smiling face echoes vignettes of the past, birthday wishes and first kisses, late night conversations of teenage angst, love and longing. Your smile is a worn blanket that knows the exact shape of my body, and the sharp corners and sunken crevices of my soul that holds in its pilled fibers secret tears and too many stories, the weight of which keeps me warm at night.
And if your smile is my warmth, you, your mind, your hands, your heart, you are my home. In your arms, I touch the happiness we buried in the earth long ago, so deep within us that through the barren winters and fiery summers, year after year, so many springs and autumns had passed that I had long forgotten it existed. And in your arms, when you kiss my nose and my forehead and every freckle on my cheeks just like you used to do, it is how I know that I will love you forever.
My heart is not my own anymore. It longs for the smile of your soul's sunny rays to hug and to hold, to fill with your spark and wonder and goodness and magic, to keep it warm and make it whole. So, my sweet love, this is all I know to do.
Your rules in life, I live them. Your favorite foods, I eat. Your best friends, adore them. Everything you love, I keep and guard fiercely along with our highest hopes and deepest dreams in the abandoned house of my broken heart of hearts.
Because if I do the things you do and say the things you say and love with every fiber of my being all the things that your heart passionately lives for, maybe what you left behind will sprout and grow, and you will be here one day with me again.
All I hear is think about your future, and I say I'll think about it later. I know that I'm supposed to be excited, but it all feels like a party where I wish I weren't invited. All I do is AP Calc and reading, and I think that all of it's for nothing. My parents are waiting for the letter that gets me into college, but I know there's something better. I can sense it through the force. I wanna be a Jedi. I wanna wear a robe and be a knight. I wanna be a Jedi. I wanna be defender of the light. I wanna learn from Baby Yoda, or the older Yoda's fine. I'll take either kind of Yoda. They can keep me in line.
Every day's the same as every other. Every day I hope for something different. I watch him, hoping that he'll see me, and not the utter terror that I always fail to be me. After school's another long rehearsal. At my job I ask you for your order. I won't be a doctor like my mother, or a civil engineer exactly like my perfect brother. Can you sense it? Can you sense it through the force? I wanna be a Jedi. I wanna be a man and not a myth. I wanna be a Jedi. I wanna take the fight right to the Sith. I want a saber that goes to take the dark lord down. 'Cause with the saber that goes, I'll go to town.
That the Force will give me so much more. So I got to say I'm sorry, but I'm not the droid you're looking for.
I want X-wings and Y-wings and speeders that go.
I want Wampas and Tauntauns way out in the snow.
I wanna be Luke when he meets his dad.
No, I wanna be a Jedi. I wanna be the Jedi with the most. I wanna be a Jedi. So when I die, I come back as a ghost. And at that fated hour, I'll never cease to be. My crazy Jedi power will make me get out of the house.
And make me get out of my job.
Will make me go get the guy.
And make me stop asking why.
Make me finally.
And make me finally be me.
What a piece of work is man, how noble in reason, how infinite faculties, in form and moving, how express and admirable, in action how like an angel, in apprehension how like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals.
I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth. This godly frame, the earth seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air acute. This brave o'erhanging fragment, this majestical roof readied with golden fire. Why, it appears no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is man, how noble in reason. How dare they try to end this beauty? How dare they try to end this beauty? Walking in space, we find the purpose of peace. Beauty of life, you can no longer hide. Our eyes are open. Our eyes are open. Our eyes are open. Our eyes are open wide, wide, wide.
Barf Bag Letter was the title of an email I recently received from Lottie, a former student. She attached an image of a love letter written on a barf bag to actor Ted Danson. You know, from The Good Place. He was on her plane. Even more shocking was the attached image of a barf bag love reply from Ted Danson. And all because of a story I told in class back when she was in 8th grade. But really, this dates back to April 29, 2016, when I was flying back to LA from New York. It was the 20th anniversary of the opening of Jonathan Larson's Rent. What was it about that show that was so magical? It brought edge and truth and AIDS and cross-dressing to Broadway in a way that had never been done before. Jonathan Larson did that. He was a young composer who dreamed of changing the face of musical theater. Well, he nailed it. Unfortunately, he never knew. On the day of Rent's first preview performance, Jonathan died suddenly of an aortic dissection. This heartbreaking story may have added to the hype that was Rent. Who knows? Nevertheless, the story of Rent and the story of Jonathan Larson's abbreviated life are inexorably linked forever. And I've jokingly, although over the years I think it's less and less of a joke, talked about my own personal religion called Larsonism. Most of its doctrines can be found in Rent quotes. No day but today. Forget, regret, or life is yours to miss. Measure your life in love. Keeping love at the forefront of my mind, my activities, my choices, really keeps me beautifully afloat. I'm not here to evangelize, but everyone ought to try Larsonism on for size. I mean, our world would be rad. Before Jonathan wrote Rent, he wrote Tick, Tick, Boom, an autobiographical piece about his desire to write a rock musical that would alter Broadway forever. while coping with this neurotic fear that time was running out. So freakily prophetic. And here I was, heading back to LA where rehearsals were going to start for Tick Tick Boom. My dream of directing and producing musical theater was finally coming to fruition. Anyway, I'm boarding the plane and Jonathan Larson's all over my brain because I was planning to use a flight to sketch out the whole show.
OMG. It's Adam Pascal. Original Roger and Rent, the once unknown rocker turned Broadway star, but not quite so famous. People recognize him on planes, unless you're part of the Musical Theater Geek Club, of which I happen to be president. Heartthrob extraordinaire. What do I do? What do I do? I mean, this is an opportunity. I need to do something. I don't know what to do. It's obvious I need to write a love letter to him.
Okay, so I'm sitting on the plane with this barf bag in my hand. I'm literally shaking because I don't know what to do with it.
Hi. I wrote you a letter. It's on a barf bag. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Dear Adam, your voice has been a major part of the fabric of my personal history. Anytime anyone asks what religion I am, I say Larsonism. I'm not sure if you're ever in the LA area, but I'm directing Tick Tick Boom and would love to hear a little about Jonathan Larson from someone who knew him. If there is any way we could meet for a brief coffee, I'd be so grateful.
I don't think the letter was as creepy as it sounds here. I do think it was complimentary, thorough, detailed, and totally weird.
Hey, I actually have an empty seat next to me, if you want to come over and talk.
So how did you get into Rent in the first place?
Well, Adina and I lived in the same hood growing up.
For you non-musical theater geeks, he's talking about Idina Menzel, star of Wicked and the voice of Elsa in Frozen.
She told me to come audition. At the time, I was just a rocker and not really into musical theater.
That must have been wild.
Yeah, it was crazy to go from being a no-name garage band dude to performing for the president in Prince. Totally surreal. I've actually had some good conversations with the cast of Hamilton, who's going through the same thing now.
Oh, that's awesome. It must have been incredible to work with the Rent cast.
Oh, for sure. The cast was tremendous.
Did you get to know Jonathan at all?
Not really well. I came in late, just weeks before the opening, so I didn't get to be part of all the early development of the show like, some of the others. But he was an amazing guy.
You all must have been crushed when you heard of his death.
That was just devastating. It was the first preview night, and everyone was understandably shocked and emotional. All we knew was that we had to do the show. It was what Jonathan would have wanted. So we decided to just sing the show. No blocking, choreography, or anything. By the time we got to La Vie Boheme, Anthony couldn't contain himself and burst out dancing. From that moment on, we did the full show as we'd rehearsed.
We continued talking for a bit longer. I shared my ideas about Tick Tick Boom, and he offered advice about which direction I should take. As our conversation came to an end, he told me that at that very moment, the cast of Hamilton was singing Seasons of Love to honor the 20th anniversary of Rent. And I was on a plane with Adam Pascal, who was telling me that he really likes the barf bag and that he is going to keep it forever. It truly is one of my better stories. But when I tell it to 8th graders as part of my storytelling unit each year, it really doesn't dawn on me that the big takeaway is barf bag love. So, when I received these photos of Ted Danson's barf bag love reply to Lottie, I feel a bit like an all-powerful prophet whose sermons on the Mount have finally taken off. And she's not the only one. Many people have since shared barf bag love stories with me. Letters to mothers, friends, teachers, the occasional celebrity on a plane. It just tickles my heart. Remember in love.
Figure in love. Measure in love.
Watch out, world. Larsonism is spreading. One barf bag at a time.
You say I have some irrational fears, but how could someone like you insult me that way? Just 'cause I scream when a spider comes near, at least I'm not afraid of the toy store display. But now I'm truly scared, there's something on the floor. Last night it wasn't there, it must have crawled under the door. I'm not delusional, I'm not confused, you know. Yeah, there's a scorpion in my room, I know. It's not a cricket, no, at least I don't think so. Yeah, there's a scorpion in my room. La 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 la, scorpion in her room, I know. La 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 la, scorpion in her room. I fetched a bowl and I captured the bug. It's been sitting there for maybe an hour or two. Perhaps it's now scurried under my rug, and now I'm not so sure what I'm going to do. Yes, now I'm truly scared, 'cause it's still on the floor. Last night it wasn't there, it must have crawled under the door. I'm not delusional, I'm not confused, you know. Yeah, there's a scorpion in my room, I know. It's not a cricket, no, at least I don't think so. Yeah, there's a scorpion in my room. La 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 la, scorpion in her room, I know. La 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 la, scorpion in her room. Oh, I was freaking out when it was peeking out. Oh, I might have a minuscule confession. I didn't look that close, man, it was so gross. But I may have given you the wrong impression. I'm not delusional, I'm not confused, you know. Yeah, there's a scorpion in my room, I know. It's not a cricket, no, at least I don't think so. Yeah, there's a scorpion in my room. La 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 la, scorpion in her room, I know. La 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 la, scorpion in her room.
Now, Faustus, must thou needs be damned? And canst thou not be saved? What boots it then to think of God or heaven? Away with such vain fancies and despair. Despair in God, and trust in Beelzebub. Now go not backwards, no. Faustus, be resolute. Why waverest thou? Oh, something soundeth in mine ears. Abjure this magic, turn to God again. Aye, and Faustus will turn to God again. To God? He loves thee not. The God thou servest is thine own appetite, wherein is fixed the love of Beelzebub. To him I'll build an altar and a church, and offer lukewarm blood of newborn babes.
Sweet Faustus, leave that execrable art.
contrition, prayer, repentance, what of them?
Oh, they are means to bring thee unto heaven. Rather illusions, fruits of lunacy that make men foolish that do trust them most. Sweet Faustus, think of heaven and heavenly things. No, Faustus, think of honor and of wealth.
Why, the signory of Emden shall be mine when Mephistopheles shall stand by me. What god can hurt thee, Faustus? Thou art safe. Cast no more doubts. Come, Mephistopheles, and bring glad tidings of great Lucifer. It's not midnight. Come, Mephistopheles. Veni, veni, Mephistophile. Now tell me what says Lucifer, thy lord.
That I shall wait on Faustus whilst he lives, so he will buy my service with his soul.
Already Faustus hath hazarded that for thee.
But, Faustus, thou must bequeath it solemnly, and write a deed of gift with thine own blood. For that security craves great Lucifer. If thou deny it, I will back to hell.
Stay, Mephistopheles, and tell me, what good will my soul do thy lord?
Enlarge his kingdom.
Is that the reason why he tempts us thus?
Solomon miseris socius habusae doloris.
Why have you any pain that tortures others?
As great as have the human souls of men. But tell me, Faustus, shall I have thy soul? And I will be thy slave, and wait on thee, and give thee more than thou would ask.
Aye, Mephistopheles, I give it thee.
Then, Faustus, stab thine arm courageously, and bind thy soul, that at some certain day great Lucifer may claim it as his own. And then be thou as great as Lucifer.
Lo, Mephistopheles, for love of thee, I cut mine arm, and with my proper blood assure my soul to be great Lucifer. Chief lord and regent of perpetual night, view here the blood that trickles from mine arm, and let it be propitious for my wish.
But, Faustus, thou must write it in a manner of deed of gift.
Aye, so I will. But, Mephistopheles, my blood congeals and I can write no more.
I'll fetch thee fire to dissolve it straight. Here's fire. Come, Faustus, set it on.
So now the blood begins to clear again. Now will I make an end immediately.
I'll fetch him somewhat to delight his mind.
Speak, Mephistopheles, what means this show?
Nothing, Faustus, but to delight thy mind withal, and to show thee what magic can perform.
But may I raise up spirits when I please?
Aye, Faustus, and do greater things than these.
Then there's enough for 1,000 souls. Here, Mephistopheles, receive this scroll, a deed of gift of body and of soul. But yet conditionally that thou perform all articles prescribed between us both.
Faustus, I swear by hell and Lucifer to effect all promises between us made. Now, Faustus, ask what thou wilt.
First will I question thee about hell. Tell me, where is the place that men call hell?
Under the heavens.
Aye, but whereabout?
Within the bowels of these elements, where we are tortured and remain forever. Hell hath no limits, nor is circumscribed in one self-place. For where we are is hell, and where hell is, there must we ever be. And, to conclude, when all the world dissolves and every creature shall be purified, all places shall be hell that are not heaven.
Come, I think hell's a fable.
I think so still, till experience change thy mind.
Why, think'st thou then that Faustus shall be damned?
Aye, of necessity, For here's the scroll wherein thou hast given thy soul to Lucifer.
Aye, and body too. But what of that? Think'st thou that Faustus is so fond to imagine that after all this life there is any pain? Tush, these are trifles and mere old wives' tales.
But, Faustus, I am an instance to prove the contrary. For I am damned, and am now in hell.
How? Now in hell? Nay, and this be hell, I'll willingly be damned here. What, walking, disputing, and etc.? But, leaving off this, let me have a wife. The fairest maid in Germany, for I am wanton and lascivious, and cannot live without a wife.
Tut, Faustus, marriage is but a ceremonial toy. If thou lovest me, think no more of it. I'll call thee out the fairest courtesans, and bring them every morning to thy bed. She whom thine eye shall like, thy heart shall have, be she as chaste as was Penelope, as wise as Saba, or as beautiful as was bright Lucifer before his fall. Hold, take this book, peruse it thoroughly. The iterating of these lines brings gold. The framing of this circle on the ground brings whirlwinds, tempests, thunder, and lightning. Oh, pronounce this thrice devoutly to thyself, and men in armor shall appear to thee, ready to execute what thou desirest.
Thanks, Mephistopheles, yet fain would I have a book wherein I might behold all spells and incantations, that I might raise up spirits when I please.
Here they are in this book.
Now, would I have a book where I might see all plants, herbs, and trees that grow upon the earth?
Here they are too.
Nay, let me have one book more, and then I have done, wherein I might see all characters and planets of the heavens, that I might know their motions and dispositions.
Here they be.
Oh, thou art deceived.
Tut, I warrant thee.
When I behold the heavens, then I repent and curse thee, wicked Mephistopheles, because thou hast deprived me of those joys.
Why, Faustus, thinkest thou heaven is such a glorious thing? I tell thee, 'tis not half so fair as thou, or any man that breathes on earth.
How provest thou that?
'Twas made for man, therefore man is more excellent.
If it were made for man, 'twas made for me. I will renounce this magic and repent.
Faustus, repent, yet God will pity thee. Thou art a spirit. God cannot pity thee.
Who buzzeth in mine ears, I am a spirit. Be I a devil? Yet God may pity me. God will pity me if I repent.
Aye, but Faustus never shall repent.
My heart's so hardened, I cannot repent. Scarce can I name salvation, faith, or heaven, but fearful echoes thunder in mine ears. Faustus, thou art damned. Then swords and knives, poison guns, halters, and envenomed steel are laid before me to dispatch myself. And long ere this I should have slain myself, had not sweet pleasure conquered deep despair. Have not I made blind Homer sing to me of Alexander's love and Aenon's death? And hath not he that built the walls of Thebes with ravishing sound of his melodious harp made music with my Mephistopheles? Why should I die then, or basely despair? I am resolved. Faustus shall ne'er repent. Come, Mephistopheles, let us dispute again, and argue of divine astrology. How many heavens or spheres are there?
9. The 7 planets, the firmament, and the imperial heaven.
Well, I am answered. Tell me, who made the worlds?
I will not.
Sweet Mephistopheles, tell me.
Move me not, for I will not tell thee.
Villain, have I not bound thee to tell me anything?
Aye, that is not against our kingdom. But this is. Think thou on hell, Faustus, for thou art damned.
Think, Faustus, upon God that made the world.
Remember this.
When I see her with her perfect smile and her shining eyes, something inside of me tells me that I need her. It's like torture, suppressing all of these butterflies. Oh, what I'd give if only I could please her. She would not understand if this were something she knew. I know that there is no way she could ever love me too. And the stars wouldn't shine for us, I know. And the moon wouldn't light her way in the dark. But I could bring a flashlight and shine it over you. If only you would say you love me too. This is silly, but I think about her every day. Something about her makes me feel alive. She's so pretty, but I didn't know I would feel this way. It's making me wonder if I'm living a lie. But this wasn't the plan. She would not understand. I wish it weren't true. If only she knew. I know that there is no way she could ever love me too. And the stars wouldn't shine for us, I know. And the moon wouldn't light our way in the dark. But I could light a candle that shows the passage through. If only you would say you love me too. Please love me too. I'm needing you. If worst came to worst, if I said what I needed to say, I bet it would push her farther away. But if best came to best, if the universe was on our side, we would no longer have to hide. And the stars wouldn't shine for us, I
Hello?
Hey Grace, can I just vent for a bit, if that's okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, I packed 2 boxes before I even brushed my teeth. One had the flashlight and some vitamins for me. The other one had some rawhide bones and kibble for Rizzo. I did not know what else to pack, so I just gave up and made myself some coffee. What are you supposed to bring when you go? I always imagine full families in station wagons, like packed to the brim with, I don't know, dining room chairs, photo albums, lamps, blankets, sports equipment. Why, in my mind's eye, are there a bunch of soccer balls in the car? Is it Megan Rapinoe's family? I don't know. Maybe that's just my brain trying to come up with a filler. But it's like, I never imagined a 25-year-old, a vacuole, and a Nissan Leaf with their pit mix, a can opener, and nothing else? Maybe my laptop? Like, what do you bring? I think about what I need for a day, a week, or even a month, and that's easy. But then I think about what I wouldn't want to leave behind in case, it's just that I've never been this close to a fire this big. I mean, it makes sense. I spend my entire life really, in Southern California, and right when I moved to the Pacific Northwest, that's when my shit burns to the ground. I guess I could make a joke if I was a funnier person. I packed some food in that liquor carton from the distillery we went to when you came up. I thought you'd get a kick out of that. I also packed Rizzo stuff in the old box roast thing that my mom set my swim trophies up in. I think the thing I'm the most worried about is my dog. Like, I know he can smell the smoke. He knows that I'm not letting him outside. He can see that I'm basically a wreck. It's a real thing having something to protect. I feel like they don't tell you that. How much loving hurts when you love as much as me. Like, if I had to pick any of the boxes, I'd pick my dogs. Like, literally my dogs. I just love them so much. Anyways, I guess I should just continue packing. It's not like, we're still at level 1, but it could get worse. I just never imagined it'd be so hard to figure out what things I love. They're all a part of my life. I just love my life. Or like, I don't know how to love my life in the abstract, If you take all of the things and stuff from my life, I don't know what to keep that will keep myself me, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep on packing and hopefully I'll just remember all the stuff that I need. Anyways, how are you? What's going on?
Mommy, you say, eyes bright, with all that 7-year-old enthusiasm, big heart. You say, I think humans know how to treat each other kindly now. I think we need to worry about the animals. People hunt them and hurt them, and we can help. And you smile. And I pause. I look at you, caramel skin, big heart, trusting, running, being hunted like an animal. I can't breathe. I see you again, head on the ground, knee on your neck, big heart beating, but not for long, being hurt like an animal. You're calling out for me, for your mama, and I can't reach you. I can't run fast enough. I can't breathe. And I say, eyes bright, with tears, I'm holding them back. I'm trying so hard. I'm not sure about that, Bubba, and smile at your big heart. And I pray silently with my whole being, please don't lose that big heart. But I know you will. The first time someone calls you the N-word, just like your father. He was 10. Do we have just 3 more years before that happens? Where will you be will I be able to comfort you? What will I tell you about people when you ask why they want to hurt you? Breaking your big heart, I already don't know what to say. I can't breathe. For now, though, back in this moment, you don't know any of what I know. You smile back, big smile, big heart. But later, much later, when you're sleeping safe tonight, I cry those tears, thinking of you, big heart, running, breathing, beating. My heart, running, breathing, beating.
It's been a long, dark night, and I've been waiting for the morning. It's been a long, hard fight, but I see a brand new day dawning. I've been looking for the sunshine. Seen it in so long. Everything's gonna work out fine. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. Ooh. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. I can see the light. See the light. Brand new clear blue morning, clear blue morning, clear morning, clear morning, light of a clear blue morning, of a clear blue cleaned my room 6 times without being told. I read a whole entire book that had no pictures. I shared my bunny mittens when my sister's hands were cold. I read a whole entire book that had no pictures.
What do you want? A cookie?
No. Listen, I know that you are fair, so please reward me for my efforts. I really want a pair of ballet slippers. I'll practice every day. I promise, don't I look sincere? I've been very good this year.
Why would I care what you want for Christmas?
A puppy. I'd walk it every day. I'd take good care of my new puppy. I'd teach it how to play catch with my frisbee. My mom says she's allergic, but I don't think it's severe. I've been very good this year.
Well, there are some hypoallergenic breeds.
I'm sorry, I told Nancy she was fat. I threw spaghetti on the cat.
Big whoop. I taped a kick me sign to Shirley. I gave that nerd Eugene a swirly. So funny, don't you remember that?
No.
What, is that Santa?
Not my name.
Hey Santa, I want a monster truck.
Wait, a real one.
I may have hit my little brother
more than once,
but little brothers suck, so he deserved it. And monster trucks are awesome. They're like fists that you can steer. I've been very good this year.
Wow, look, it's Santa.
What are you gonna ask him for?
The Nerf Obliterator X.
An electric scooter.
Do you think you'll get it?
I hope so. I've been good all year.
Me too.
All the candy that I shared, all the homework I prepared, all the vegetables I ate, all those stupid chores I hate, nights I didn't stay up late. I'll just bear it and I'd wait for the joy on Christmas morning when I'll race down to the tree and I'll see the pile of presents that Santa brought to me. I'll find it, yes, I know it. I worked hard not to blow it. I know Santa won't let me down. Santa, I want a bike. I want a new guitar. A kite to fly.
I want more action figures.
Santa's cakes I like. My Barbie needs a car. More games for my Nintendo. It's so important that you know with Christmas drawing needs. Listen here, I've been very good this year. We've worked and we've stayed.
As far as we're concerned,
to make your list,
we've been like little angel Santa.
we've done so
Don't you
good.
think that we have
We've
earned a
been
Christmas
so
bonus
nice
and homework school to every rule we carefully adhere? We've done everything we could.
We did everything we should.
We've been very good this year.
I'm Oz, the great and terrible. Why do you seek me?
Where are you?
I am everywhere, but to the eyes of common mortals, I am invisible. I will now seat myself upon my throne, that you may converse with me.
We have come to claim our promise, O Oz.
What promise?
You promised to send me back to Kansas when the Wicked Witch was destroyed.
And you promised to give me brains.
And you promised to give me a heart.
And you promised to give me courage?
Is the Wicked Witch really destroyed?
Yes, I melted her with a bucket of water.
Dear me, how sudden. Well, come to me tomorrow, for I must have time to think it over.
You've had plenty of time already.
We shan't wait a day longer.
You must keep your promises to us.
Who are you?
I'm Oz, the great and terrible. But don't strike me, please don't. And I'll do anything you want me to.
I thought Oz was a great head.
And I thought Oz was a lovely lady.
And I thought Oz was a terrible beast.
And I thought Oz was a ball of fire.
No, you are all wrong. I have been making believe.
Making believe?
Hush, my dear. Don't speak so loud, or you will be overheard, and I should be ruined. I'm supposed to be a great wizard.
And aren't you?
Not a bit of it, my dear. I'm just a common man.
You're more than that. You're a humbug.
Exactly so. I am a humbug.
This is terrible. How will I ever get my heart?
Were I my courage?
Were I my brains?
My dear friends, I pray you do not speak of these little things. Think of me and the terrible trouble I'm in at being found out.
Doesn't anyone else know that you're a humbug?
I certainly am. But it was the only thing I could do. Sit down, please. There are plenty of chairs, and I will tell you my story. I was born in Omaha.
Why, that isn't very far from Kansas.
No, but it's farther from here. After a time, I became a balloonist. A man who goes up in a balloon on circus day so as to draw a crowd of people together and get them to pay to see the circus. Well, one day I went up in a balloon, and the ropes got twisted, so that I couldn't come down again. For a day and a night, I traveled through the air. And on the morning of the second day, I awoke and found the balloon floating over a strange and beautiful country. I found myself in the midst of a strange people who, seeing me come from the clouds, thought I was a great wizard. I ordered them to build this city and my palace, and they did it all willingly and well. Then I thought, as the country was so green and beautiful, I would call it the Emerald City. And to make the name fit better, I put green spectacles on all the people, so that everything they saw was green.
But isn't everything here green?
No more than in any other city. But when you wear green spectacles, why of course everything you see looks green to you. I have been good to the people, and they like me. But ever since this palace was built, I have shut myself up and would not see any of them. One of my greatest fears was the witches. For while I had no magical powers at all, I soon found out that the witches were really able to do wonderful things. They ruled the people who lived in the north and south and east and west. Fortunately, the witches of the north and south were good, but the witches of the east and west were terribly wicked. And had they not thought I was more powerful than they themselves, they would surely have destroyed me. So you can imagine how pleased I was when I heard your house had fallen on the Wicked Witch of the East. When you came to me, I was willing to promise anything if you would only do away with the other witch. But now that you have melted her, I am ashamed to say that I cannot keep my promises.
I think you are a very bad man.
Oh no, my dear. I'm really a very good man. But I'm a very bad wizard, I must admit.
Can't you give me brains?
You don't need them. You are learning something new every day. A baby has brains, but it doesn't know much. Experience is the only thing that brings knowledge. And the longer you are on Earth, the more experience you are sure to get.
That may all be well and true, but I shall be very unhappy unless you give me brains.
Well, I'm not much of a magician, as I said. But if you will come to me tomorrow morning, I will stuff your head with brains. I cannot tell you how to use them, however. You must find that out for yourself.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I'll find a way to use them, never fear.
But how about my courage?
You have plenty of courage, I'm sure. All you need is confidence in yourself. There is no living thing that is not afraid when it faces danger. True courage is in facing danger when you are afraid. And that kind of courage you have in plenty.
Perhaps I have, but I'm scared just the same. I shall really be very unhappy unless you give me the sort of courage that makes one forget that they're afraid.
Very well. I will give you that sort of courage tomorrow.
How about my heart?
Why, as for that, I think you are wrong to want a heart. Makes most people unhappy.
That must be a matter of opinion. For my part, I will bear all the unhappiness in the world if you will give me a heart.
Very well. Come to me tomorrow and you shall have a heart. I've played wizard for so many years that I may as well continue the parts a little longer.
I hope you will find a way to get me home to Kansas.
We shall have to think about that. Give me 2 or 3 days to consider the matter, and I'll try to find a way to carry you over the desert. In the meantime, you shall all be treated as my guests. There is only one thing I ask in return for my help, such as it is. You must keep my secret and tell no one that I am a humbug.
Agreed.
Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. I hope you will find a way to get me home to Kansas. Music has a way of capturing memories that is more visceral and emotional than photos or journaling or anything I can think of. Smell, maybe, but that's so fleeting. Dreams, for sure, but you can't just push a button and make a dream happen. Believe me, I've tried. I lie in the soil and fertilize mushrooms.
Fertilized mushrooms, leaking out gas fumes are made into perfume. You can't fire me because I quit. Throw me in the fire and I won't throw a fit. Yeah.
Kurt Cobain, Scentless Apprentice. Just a few notes of a song can catapult you back to exactly how you felt, who you were, and where you were. When I hear his voice, I am transported back 20 years as if no time has passed at all. At the time, he was my best friend in the entire world. More than that, even. We were like two parts of the same being. He was the music, and I was the dance. Now, all I have left is hours upon hours of his voice, singing to me like he used to.
Only in hindsight are we able to see the compounding factors that result in a self-inflicted death.
I kinda knew who Brandon was in high school, but I was a year younger than him, caught up in my own things, and he wasn't one of the popular good-looking kids, so I guess he never really crossed my consciousness. That is, until he was the lead in the musical, Pippin. Brandon got up on stage one day and sung the first note of Glory, and that was it. The power and beauty coming from that boy stopped me in my tracks. His voice broke straight through to my soul and unlocked the part of me that was slowly dying. I remember coming up with the notion of filling up my soul as if it were a gas tank, an image that I still have to this day when I am feeling complete emotional satisfaction.
At the core of this counseling is the ability to assess for risk, a skill that will take a lot of thought and time to master.
So one day I had no idea who Brandon was, and the next, we were spending every minute together. We were a pair of wacky, music-loving, Sondheim-quoting, unapologetically freaky beings. He was brilliant, an amazing musician, scholar, and actor, and his one-man rendition of The Princess Bride was spot on. What freedom he granted me to embrace everything about myself that I had been trying to hide.
Risk assessment serves as a roadmap, showing us the boundaries of thoughts, actions, and feelings that make up a crisis.
Near the end of high school, I witnessed Brandon's first episode. His girlfriend at the time called me up, hysterical and frightened that something about his keys had sent him into a frenzy. When I got to the house, Brandon was in a crazy state. He wouldn't look me in the eye, and then he started to bang his head against this heavy glass door so hard that I thought I would have to call an ambulance. I was terrified to try and stop him, but equally terrified to let him continue. This would be the start of what would become a totally normal experience for us.
You may ask yourself, if we can't predict it, why do we assess for risk in the first place?
Brandon went to Berkeley to study molecular cell biology, and I went to Santa Clara, less than a half an hour away. We were closer than ever. And then Brandon's roommates called his parents one weekend to let them know that there had been a suicide attempt. So much pain, and laughter, and music, so much love, so much intensity.
Dear Hill, it's hard for me to imagine what my life would be without you. Lately, I've been thinking of home, probably because I'm away from it, and what it means to me. You always pop up in there. What my own family hasn't been able to give me, you often have been able to give. What my other friends couldn't see, you've always been able to see. You're one of the great constants in my life, forever supplying a support and a reason for me to keep going. I'm a clinical depressive, or at least that's what my therapist told me. I'm suicidal and self-destructive. Up here at Berkeley, it would be very easy for me to sink. But I keep on going and I keep on trying. You are a big reason why I keep going. The other day when I couldn't get through to you, I realized that I wanted you to know what you mean to me, but I don't think you could even understand how important you are to me. Words aren't enough. You are so special to me, and I would do anything for you. Your friend and twin, Brandon.
He loved me so fiercely, so protectively, as a sister and a sidekick. He called me his twin.
Suicide is an enormous topic, studied by biologists, psychologists, and philosophers for millennia. One issue that we have to tackle right away is that suicide means different things to different people. A sin or a solace, a product of personal or social dynamics, a chemical cascade in the brain, or a crisis of the soul. Because suicide touches so many aspects of human experience, it's often poorly defined.
I was about 20 when I began my relationship with Rob, the love of my life and father of my child. Things weren't going so well for Brandon. There was another suicide attempt, and this was the third one I had been through with him, so I think I was starting to get a bit sick of it. Certainly beginning to minimize the seriousness of it all, chalking it up to drama. He called me constantly, 20 or so times a day, and I stopped answering every time.
Buffers have to do with the things that keep people from acting on their thoughts and feelings. They're the connections someone has with life. Some built over time, some only as old as the duration of a phone call.
Our last encounter as friends was nothing out of the ordinary. Brandon was up in his room working on his music, and a friend and I had stopped by to pick up a CD. There was no fight, no drama, seemingly no anger, but then he stopped returning my calls. I was pretty desperate to know what was going on with Brandon during our time apart. He had started volunteering at a suicide hotline, so I imagined he was still doing that. What I didn't know is that he had eventually gone on to be an on-staff counselor and supervisor. Apparently he worked 3 overnight shifts a week, helped train new volunteers, developed a pilot program that established follow-up with high-risk callers, and wrote a risk assessment manual which is now being used at crisis centers throughout California. He had a drama that accompanied his every move, and I think that most of us hoped that most of his talk of suicide was a part of that drama. For someone as brilliant as he was, there were far too many unsuccessful attempts. I had always told myself that he didn't really want to die because he was never successful. I guess he showed me.
Every adult knows instinctively what he means by suicide. It is the act of taking one's life. But in the very moment that one utters this simple formula, one also appreciates that there is something more to the human drama of self-destruction than is contained in this simple view of it. And that something more is the periphery of any satisfactory definition.
Rob has a theory. He says that when people die, 99% of them is gone. Complete blackness, nothing. But 1% remains, alive within us, watching over us like ghosts. And he said that Brandon had let go of his 99% a long time ago, and his remaining spirit had been haunting us. Me, specifically, for years now. It's all sort of strange and creepy to think about, but I have no doubt in my mind that there is some truth in it. I've been embodying Brandon for years now. He fills my soul and spirit, and I'd always hoped, that part of Brandon's spirit was reborn in my daughter, that they passed the baton as he exited the world. May she grow to have the strength, confidence, and beauty that Brandon bestowed upon me. May she embrace her inner freak, whatever that may be, and may she learn to love music as much as we did, to let it fill her soul, refill the tank. May she be spared the anguish that was such a part of Brandon, as I was spared that anguish once he let me go. One of the things I admired most about him was that he was never afraid to embrace both the light and the darkness.
It's like I see the same thing again and again, and I'm wondering about the windings in your head. You're okay, you say, but there's something you hide as you turn the other way in that full-on stride, and you do the things you said you wouldn't do, and the idiots you sneer at look just like you. As you dodge the weight that's bearing down, you lose all that work, all that hard-won grind. And as you run and run and run, maybe you're building the obstacles you overcome. And standing still sometimes is the hardest thing to do. Strapped on the wheel, around and round we go. And where it stops, well, darling, no one seems to know. And to do it again is again I falter. When my head's not okay, but I run with a smile and laughter. Running away, I feel it building. I run for my life, but it's me I'm killing. This world won't stop when I fall to disorder. The inertia and kinetics keep pushing me forward. Sometimes I hate that person in the mirror, but if I stand real still, I feel the peace. It's getting nearer, and I run and run and run. When building the obstacles I overcome, and standing still's the hardest thing for me to do. And as I run and run and run, just looking for shelter in the arms of anyone. But if I hold myself tight, well then I might not need to. Hold yourself tight so that you might not need to. Hold yourself tight so that we might not need. Might not need to run and run and run and run and run and run and run. Run and run and run and run and run.
Hello. You're so cute. You're so funny. You're so smart. You're so beautiful. You're so positive. How many kids do you want? You're so happy. You're so loving. Welcome to my house. You can leave whatever you want here, okay? Can you feed my dogs? You cuss. It's not funny. I don't like it. I would love to meet your parents. You shouldn't use the R slur. When can I see you again? You missed a hair on your armpit. I caught an earlier flight home. I can't wait to see you. You should get a bikini wax. I'm so happy to see you. Your lips are dry. You need to use chapstick. You're such a good cook. You're so spoiled. I don't know anyone who needs a housekeeper every week. You didn't put your sunscreen on right. You're cute, but you need to moisturize your face or else no one will know how cute you are. How was your day? I'm not going to kiss you unless you use chapstick. You need to shave your legs. Why do you get so mad when I'm just pointing out my preferences? You're so fragile. Why do you get so mad when I leave you behind when we're hiking? You're so delicate. You shouldn't use your arm injury as an excuse. I just want you to be stronger. I don't want you teaching my friend's kids. You can teach her kids because I'm not close with her, but I don't want you teaching John's kids. Do you just want to come to me with parties to get more clients? If you respected my wishes, you wouldn't do it. What is that face supposed to mean?
I don't mean to be disrespectful.
You're so judgmental. I don't like the way you said that word. What is that supposed to mean?
I don't mean to stress you out. My parents got divorced when I was little.
You're so judgmental.
You're so earnest.
You sound bratty.
I'm hard to be with. I care about you.
Listen to you! I can't believe you said that.
Where would you want to get married?
I don't know how this is gonna work.
Could we raise our kids Jewish?
You don't know what Asians are like.
Would we take our kids backpacking?
A 4-year-old could do that hike.
I love you. You are one of the most amazing people I know, and through you, I've learned to be more loving and thoughtful.
But I don't know how this is gonna work.
You love the city, and I love nature. I love you.
If you took care of your body hair, maybe we'd have more sex. I just don't know why you get so mad at me when I say things like that. You're one of the sweetest people I know, and I know if you're not being that way, I must have done something. I'm sorry. I love you. I'm making reservations at a surprise restaurant. Cheers. Happy anniversary. I love you. Here's to many more. I love you. I haven't been sleeping at night. I have anxiety. I don't know what I want from this. I need space to think. I don't want to break up. Let's get together and talk about our future together. I'm in love with you. I thought I wanted to be with you, but I started thinking about it and I got anxiety all over again. I have problems. I need to see a therapist. I need to be alone for a while to work through my issues. I thought I wanted to be with you, but then I was confused and now I know I definitely don't. You're so amazing that I tried to make myself be with you. The truth is, I was never sure about you, and 1 year is just too long not to be sure. Goodbye.
The very first time I was on stage was at age 4 in a show called Madame Butterfly. I played Sorrow, Madame Butterfly's child. This may have been the moment I officially became a theater addict, specifically musical theater. I remember just lying there on the stage while 2 women sang their brains out night after night. What a gig. Years later, a show called Miss Saigon, an adaptation of the opera Madame Butterfly, became my latest obsession. I loved the tragedy of the story, but always thought the main character was kind of crazy for killing herself in order to ensure happiness and freedom for her son. Then I had a child of my own. In fact, when I was about 6 months pregnant, a song called Too Much for One Heart from Miss Saigon started playing on my iPod, and I dissolved into a crazy puddle of tears. I'm generally not much of a crier, but the intensity of that experience introduced me to a new kind of love. It was the moment when I officially realized I was a mom, and my life would never be the same. And my heart would never be the same. And it just might be too much for just one heart. Oh man, I didn't even know what I was in for. Each year I look back on what I thought was a crazy, obsessive, all-consuming love for my child the year before has now doubled in size. I would absolutely give my life for my daughter, without question. People always say things like, you don't even know until you're a mom. To a certain extent, I think that's true. I think about my daughter the way a giddy teenager thinks about seeing her boyfriend. I get these little butterflies in my stomach when I anticipate seeing her after a few hours of being apart. In becoming a mom, I discovered this love and security in myself that I didn't know I had. I experienced a real, fundamental change. I think that part of it was this volcano of love and life that practically blew up inside me. I felt like all I could do was share that love and life with everyone in my orbit. And in turn, sharing all that love brought me so much love into my life, from every angle. And it's this crazy, endless cycle of love that sounds disgustingly sweet and cheesy, but it's actually the most incredible thing in the world. My daughter has recently discovered her love for musical theater. Big surprise. And we recently saw Wicked in New York. We had this moment during the show where she was crying happy tears and I was, of course, shooting out happy tears. We were so connected on this deeply visceral level with the magic of what was happening on that stage. When she declared that she wanted to be Elphaba, Wicked's lead character for Halloween, I pretty much felt like my work as a mother had been complete. I guess my daughter got a little streak of the drama from this theater influence. Lately, she's been fascinated by death. So we're in the car the other day and she starts asking all these questions about what happens when you die and why. I struggle with an answer on that one, but I have shared one little thing which I do like. I tell her that as you live your life, you leave little pieces of yourself in other people's hearts. The more people whose hearts you can spread love to, and the more love you can share with others, the more you will stay alive forever. It's just in a different way. Well, she buys that to a certain extent, but is still afraid about the actual death itself. She always says she wants to be lying on top of me when she dies. She also wants to make sure that I don't die before she does. So we're in the car the other day, listening to Elphaba's Defying Gravity for the 12th millionth time, and completely out of the blue, she goes, "Oh, I have a great idea. The moment you are about to die, I will drink some poison and we can die at the exact same time." Wow. This was by far the most romantic and the most disturbing thing anyone has ever said to me. But it made me realize that, for better or worse, the love that we have for each other is going to be an unbelievably intense, driving force in my life from here on out. And it is too much for just one heart. But perhaps that is the essence of a mother-daughter relationship. Just right for two hearts.
Can't think